Hi, my name is Kelly and welcome to my channel. So today I am doing the 12 books to save in an apocalypse tag. I was tagged by Nigel over at Reading Ideas to do this, you guys, in July. It's been a minute. So I don't have much else that I'm recording these days. I finally have time to record a tag. So I'm going to do this one finally because it's such a good one. What books would you save? Now, I will say this. I'm going to do my best not to do sets. I'm going to do my best to do individual books, but there is one that has the possibility of being a set, but I feel like that's okay, and you'll understand when I get to that one. So the first book I would save is the Bible. I know that that probably seems like a very basic answer, but the Bible is such a rich book. Not only is it God's word, but there is history in there. There's poetry. There are lessons for life. It is such a deep, beautiful book, and it's rich, and that would definitely 100% be the first book I would save. The second book I would save is, you guys, these next few books are going to show the nerd in me, a Bible dictionary, because sometimes you're reading the Bible and there's a person or a place or a thing that you don't understand what it is. And if there's a huge decrease in literature and books and things that explain things in this point in time, then if you're going to be reading the Bible with how rich it is, you want to make sure that you're understanding what you're reading. So a Bible dictionary would be perfect for that. The third one would be an actual dictionary. It would help people learn how to spell the things that they're looking for and learn the definitions of the things that they are reading. A dictionary, I believe, is a tool that should be used by everyone. I love dictionaries. I love dictionaries. You don't hear many people say that, but it's true. I love dictionaries. So the fourth thing, and this is the one that has the potential to be a set. In fact, I'm not sure that I've ever seen one that was not a set, but there may be one out there that is just a big old fat chunker of one book, but an encyclopedia. There needs to be at least one encyclopedia in the world if there's an apocalypse. I also love encyclopedias. So this is, you guys are really getting the nerdy side of me with this, but that doesn't change my answer. An encyclopedia set. I prefer, the bigger the set, the better, because that means that you have more information in your hands. But there needs to be an encyclopedia or encyclopedia set of some kind. All right, so number 5, I would save Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. She has a lot of great works, but if I can only save one of them, it would definitely be Pride and Prejudice, because that is her most popular one for a reason. And it is so well written. It's interesting. It captures the audience. She deals with the flaws of humanity in such a beautiful way, and how we can always be striving to be a better version of ourselves, but yet also still love other people despite their flaws. Beautiful. Beautiful. I absolutely love it. I would also save The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. There needs to be at least one fantasy book in this world if there's an apocalypse, and I feel like that is such a great one. It's not as deep fantasy as The Lord of the Rings. It's a little easier to digest as a fantasy book, but it's so beautiful. He is wordy, yes, but he's beautifully wordy, and that would 100% have to be a book that would be saved. On the same lines with fantasy, but maybe for a younger audience that would be a little easier to understand, is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Now, I would love for it to be the entire series. However, I'm doing my best to only do one book at a time, like I said, minus the encyclopedia set. So I would choose The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because even by itself, it is such a great book. I love it. And a person can love it really no matter what age they are. It's a great book. That one would have to be saved. I would also save the complete works of Shakespeare. I know that there are a lot of people that have a hard time with Shakespeare. And I can understand that. But there is a reason that people are still celebrating his works today. And it's because when you take the time to break down what he's saying and understand it, it is so good. It is powerful. It's funny. And the words that he uses and the way that he makes them flow, it's beautiful. I love reading Shakespeare, and I would want Shakespeare to be something that people could look back on for generations to come. I mean, look at us. We're sitting here hundreds of years later and we're still reading his works, and it wouldn't deserve to die in an apocalypse. It would need to continue on. So, complete work of Shakespeare. There would also need to be at least one mystery book. And my choice for that is The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. So good. Such a good mystery. Now, I thought about having Agatha Christie because she's amazing. I thought about adding her on here, but I have not read a mystery of hers yet that had me in clutches the way that The Moonstone did the first time I read it. And so it goes on here. It is probably the best mystery detective-ish novel I've read to date. Now, there's a lot of Agatha Christie I haven't read, but as of right now, that one from Wilkie Collins is my favorite. Another one that I would have, and this is kind of calling back to some of the nerdier stuff, is because I would want at least, I would want a good nonfiction. And to me, a great nonfiction is Mere Christianity. So you're going to have the Bible, you're going to have the Bible dictionary, but then Mere Christianity breaks down just the basics of what Christianity is without all of the tertiary things that sometimes people get hung up on. It's just the bare facts of what Christianity really is, and I would want that in there as well. C.S. Lewis is great at explaining things in a way that's easy to understand and just breaks things down for the average person. And so amazing book. So that would be on there as well. We need something that's going to make us laugh, something that's going to bring us joy. And for that, I chose Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. Anne is so funny, and I identify with her a lot. In fact, a lot. But she would be such a great character to read about and just have a bit of lightheartedness in the chaos of an apocalypse. So, and once again, children can read this and have a bit of joy in their lives during something like that. So Anne of Green Gables has to go on there. So for the last one, we need something that is meant for just little kids, little kids, something that will bring them joy, bring them laughter, be a lot of fun. And for that, I felt that we needed Dr. Seuss. There needs to be at least one Dr. Seuss book saved. Now, my favorite was There's a Rocket in My Pocket. However, I understand that that is not his most well-known, or maybe even his funniest, or the silliest. So, obviously, I'm going to have to go with Green Eggs and Ham. Even though he only wrote children's books, I feel like it still deserves to be considered a classic. Even though it's children, there are children's classics books out there. And this is, even though it's for little children, everyone can enjoy it. And he deserves to survive the apocalypse. Well, his books do. He's already gone, but his books do. Anyway, so that's it. Those are the books I would save. I know it's a strange mix, but that's what I would save. I'd love to hear what you would save. What 12 books would you save? I'm going to go ahead and tag some people in this. I'm going to tag Alma. I'm going to tag Kay. And I'm going to tag Reese. If I didn't say your name and you want to do this, please do it. I would love to hear you guys' answers. And if you do not have a YouTube channel but still want to tell me your answers, please tell me. I'd love to read them. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I decided to save. All right, have a great day. Bye, guys. This book needs to be read by children growing up. That's a statement.